amigos? Can I get an amen? Now, how about a hallelujah? Hallelujah! It's time for the show with no name. Ready for liftoff? Let's go.
8, 7,
6, 5,
4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff. Liftoff. 30 minutes after the hour.
Come on, get on up there. Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time. On Fun Radio. It's a show. Come on. Get pumped. Get psyched. Motívate. Mentalízate. Let's go. Come on. What a beautiful day it is. I'm not talking about the weather here. I'm talking about the fact that we're all here together, learning, laughing, playing, enjoying life to the fullest. That's admirable. Hey, I know a lot of people who are not doing that, and I'm sure you do too, who you're like, man, you could be doing so much more, and I guess you can apply that to anyone. But man, I don't know how much more you guys can do. You put in the time, the effort, the energy, you've got the good vibes, you've got the right attitude, and the world is your oyster. Ostras. ¿Qué? ¿Qué tiene que ver con ostras? ¿El mundo es tu ostra? Well, that doesn't sound... Maybe it sounds appetizing. The world is your oyster means te comes el mundo. El mundo es tuyo. And even if it's not true, isn't it good to believe it? The worst thing you can do is have a defeatist attitude. Be like, well, why bother? ¿Por qué me voy a molestar? That's the worst. And we're all guilty of it. Remember, none of these things are constants. Life is not a constant. Sometimes we're this, sometimes, you're always swaying in the wind. Trying to avoid the extremes, I would say. Well, thanks for swaying in the wind with me every day here on the show with no name, amigos. It's a pleasure to welcome you to our energetic, wacky, chiflado English class.
¿Te gustaría abrir puertas a nuevas oportunidades y estar listo para cualquier desafío? Con el máster de inglés del Grupo Vaughan podrás transformar tu futuro. Este programa intensivo te ayudará a dominar el inglés profesional, perfeccionar tu comunicación y ganar la confianza que necesitas para conseguir tus objetivos. Nuestros profesores Vaughan especializados te prepararán para afrontar en inglés todas las situaciones de comunicación en un entorno profesional. No dejes que el inglés sea una barrera. Invierte en tu futuro con el máster de inglés profesional del Grupo Vaughan. Llámanos al 91-133-5833 o entra en grupovaughan.com.
That's right. You can find out more about our masters or all of our amazing initiatives. And you can either go to our website, grupovaughn.com, or I think much easier, follow us on social media. We're on all the different platforms, and you can get content, you can get information, and you can stay in the loop, as we say, manteneros al tanto al día. All right, well, let's rock and roll with today's pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Come on. Give me all your energy today, folks. Next week is Easter week, so we won't have live shows. So let's make the most of this week together. Why not? Wishing you all a happy Easter. Hope you get to spend time with your family, with your loved ones, and that you're surrounded, and that you are surrounded by English. Okay, yeah, your loved ones too, but don't forget, Easter week, even though we don't have live shows, you will have content because we repeat. You'll never turn on the Vaughn Radio app or open it up and not find content. And if you do, please let us know. That means there's a technical problem. All right, well, my amigos, as always, we're going to learn from one of the materials at the Vaughn Tienda. It's vaughntienda.com. Today, we're going to learn from Essential English. I love that. Essential means you need to know it, right? And the title says it all. And does it come with audio? Well, of course it does. All our materials come with audio. I mean, we're teaching language. And how do you learn language? By reading it? Good luck in English. You got to hear it. I tell my daughter all the time, my little parrot, I call her, mi loro, but that's exactly what you're supposed to do. She's got it, you know. Don't ask why, just say it like that because that's the way we say it. Now, I don't tell her that with science and geography and nature, but with language, es así. This is, it's not open to interpretation too much. Yes, there is an art behind language, right? And it's constantly growing, especially the English language. All right, so folks, make sure you check out Essential English. It's available at vaughntienda.com. And as I said, it's got all the English you'll need for those essential situations, those situations that everybody has to deal with in life. You know, ordering at a restaurant, for example. Who hasn't done that? I mean, even whether you go out once a year or you go out, you know, once a week or once, I know some people go out even more often. You should know how to, what I think is this. If you do it in Spanish, you should know how to say it in English. Like I said the other day, los cortes de pelo. You should know your haircut. You should know how to describe yourself. Do you have facial hair? Is your hair curly? Is your hair wavy? Right? Do you have a unibrow? ¿O sabéis esa? A unibrow, una ceja. Well, since it's called your eyebrow, a unibrow. So you should know how to describe yourself. Describe your hobbies, what you do. You know, that's one of the great things about private classes. When I deal with my private students, we're talking about their hobbies. We're talking about their job. We're talking about their life. So they're really putting the English into practical use because it's it's like having a personal trainer. You know, that's how I would describe the difference between group classes, which are awesome. That's how you make great friends that'll last a lifetime. But also, there's nothing like, I mean, you can see it. The people at the gym who have their own personal trainer, they know right where to do, what to work on, what to do, you know, and what not to do. And that could be different for each student too. So you've got all those options. You've even got our curso online if you want to do a course by yourself. But you've got tons of options. And don't forget, we've got April week right now, spring week, we're calling it. And every day of this week, there's a special deal going on. And how are you going to find out about that? Simple. As I said earlier, follow us on social media. All right, let's get down to business. Vamos al lío with today's pop quiz. It's from Essential English. And I want you guys to pay attention. And afterwards, I'll have a challenge or two for you. As always.
Pista 31.
At the hairdresser's.
Un corte de pelo.
A haircut.
Un corte, solo las puntas.
A trim.
Mechas.
Highlights.
Flequillo.
Fringe or bangs.
Capas.
Layers.
Alisar.
To straighten.
Teñir.
To dye.
Secar con secador.
To blow dry.
Cortar mucho.
To cut a lot off.
Cortar solo un poco.
To cut a little off.
Hi there, are you here to get a haircut?
Yes, please.
All right then, please sit down. What exactly do you want to have done today?
I'd like to get a trim and some highlights, please.
I see. So you just want to cut a little off, is that right?
Yes, that's right. Please don't cut a lot off.
No problem. Would you like a fringe?
No, thanks. I don't want a fringe and I don't want layers either.
Okay then. Now, how would you like me to style it?
Can you just blow dry it and straighten it, please?
Yes, of course, no problem.
Thanks for the haircut.
You're welcome.
Pronunciation time.
Pelo.
Hair.
Su de ella.
Her.
1. Su pelo es rizado.
Her hair is curly.
2. Me encanta su pelo.
I love her hair.
3. ¿Ella va a teñirse el pelo?
Is she going to dye her hair? Translation time.
1. ¿Te gustaría cortarte el pelo?
Would you like to get a haircut?
2. Querría un corte solo de las puntas y mechas, por favor.
I'd like to get a trim and some highlights, please.
3. Por favor, no corte mucho.
Please, don't cut a lot off.
4. No quiero flequillo y tampoco quiero capas.
I don't want a fringe and I don't want layers either.
5. ¿Puedes secarlo y alisarlo, por favor?
Can you blow dry it and straighten it, please?
6. Me gustaría teñirme el pelo de rubio.
I'd like to dye my hair blonde.
7. Puedes cortar mucho. Quiero un corte de pelo totalmente nuevo.
You can cut a lot off. I'd like a completely new haircut.
8. Me gusta secarme el pelo yo mismo.
I like to blow dry my hair myself.
9. Me gustarían capas y un flequillo.
I'd like layers and a fringe.
10. ¿Te gusta mi nuevo corte de pelo?
Do you like my new haircut? Practice time.
Construye frases empleando
To,
o
not, either.
con el sujeto que te indicamos. 1.
She doesn't have a fringe. I don't have a fringe either.
2.
I need a haircut. He needs a haircut too.
3.
She's going to blow dry her hair. We're going to blow dry our hair too.
4.
I don't want to dye my hair. He doesn't want to dye his hair either.
5.
He's going to get highlights. I'm going to get highlights too.
6.
I don't want layers. They don't want layers either.
7.
You don't need a trim. She doesn't need a trim either.
8.
I want a fringe. He wants a fringe too.
9.
He doesn't want to straighten his hair. I don't want to straighten my hair either.
10.
We want to dye our hair. She wants to dye her hair too.
¿Conoces Weekend Town?
No.
La nueva iniciativa de Vaughan.
Pues no.
Es un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés. Y es nuevísimo.
A ver, cuéntame más.
Tendrás una inmersión lingüística total durante 2 días. Un total de 24 horas hablando con angloparlantes de todo el mundo.
¡Wow! ¡Qué interesante!
Ganarás confianza y soltura a la hora de comunicarte en inglés. Mejorarás tu comprensión auditiva y tus habilidades conversacionales en una situación de comunicación real en inglés. Ven a Weekend Town y te sorprenderás con todo lo que puede avanzar tu inglés en un fin de semana. Weekend Town de Vaughan. Un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés.
That's right, amigos. Weekend Town, just one of the many amazing initiatives you have at Vaughan. And let me check for you, because as I said, let's see, where is this over here? Okay, remember I told you we're in spring week. This is the 7th, just in case you're listening to a repeat, the 7th to the 11th of April 2025, and we've got special deals going on every day. For example, the 10th of April, this is Thursday, the 10th of April, if you get Talkmaster or Speak PRO, you can get a 50% discount. Do you want to practice speaking? You want to be challenged, and you can do it with your phone. That's the great news. So you can do it anywhere you can talk aloud. You can check it out. Again, follow us on social media, and you'll have a link that'll, take you right to where it is. But hey, guys, if you were ever thinking of learning English, and I can tell you something, Speak Pro, yours truly and Jimena Holiday are the voices. So if you want to have us and us saying thousands, and believe me, thousands of different phrases, starting from it's a pen to I wish I hadn't studied philosophy because then I wouldn't have had to, these more complicated structures. And you've got the gamut, la gama completa. So this is the 10th. This is Thursday, the 10th of April 2025. You've got Talkmaster or Speak Pro, two pretty recent initiatives here at Vaughan for 50% off. Check it out by following us on social media. And Friday's deal, this is the last one of the week of our spring week, the Curso Online de Autoestudio Advanced. Guys, I know my students. I know you. That's perfect for you, especially if you're looking for a 50% discount. I mean, seriously. So that is the 11th of April, 2025, and you can get a 50, I didn't say 15. I'll say it clearly, 50% discount on our Curso Online. So check it out. Again, if you want to be in the know, many of you, I'm sure, who follow us on social media, you already knew that information. Well, this is for those of you who don't use social media or, you haven't checked it, or even worse, you're not following us. So if you are, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Instagram, YouTube, anywhere you are, Vaughan is there teaching English, whether it's me, whether it's Richard, or one of the other amazing presenters here at Vaughan Radio. All right. Also, speaking of other things in Vaughan Radio news, we've got our upcoming trivia night. And this is, mark your calendars, May 6th. Okay, May 6th. And it is going to be hosted by Kyle Miller. May 6th, 2025. Siempre digo el año, ya sabéis, por las repeticiones, porque puedes escuchar esto en 3 años y no, okay, pues no voy a presentarme. But you can still learn the English. The English content is evergreen, como decimos, como los árboles de Navidad, que siempre verde todo el año, que vale para, da igual. Okay, so, but when we say things like that, like La Feria del Libro, which, by the way, I can't let the cat out of the bag, but we're getting ready for the book fair here too in Madrid. So a lot of exciting things, guys. So just stay tuned, follow us on social media, and you will be in the know. So May 6th, mark your calendars right here, right now, and we'll see you May 6th for our Vaughan Radio Trivia Night hosted by Kyle Miller. And I can tell you another thing. Mark your calendars for June 3rd. June 3rd, I will be hosting the Vaughan Radio Trivia Night. So you got the next two. You got Kyle Miller and then me. May 6th, hosted by Kyle Miller. This is all 2025. And June 3rd, yours truly, un servidor. This is a free event. You can come, meet friends, make friends. It's really a wonderful event, and everybody has fun. And you go home, with a big smile on your face. You also go home thinking, oh, I learned a few things today. Wow, that was interesting. I know every time I go, I learn something. Because, Richard, especially with Richard Vaughan or Guy Williams. Oh, my goodness. My questions are more like pop culture questions. So you've got that. You've got the book fair. Stay tuned for all that information. Also, question of the week, a nice round of applause to Anix. Also, Open Waters, Chris Valrol, Elena, Gloria, Laura, Marisol, Nuria, and Paco. You have all participated in the question of the week, and we'll be hearing from you tomorrow about your biggest pet peeve. La cosa que más te molesta en este mundo. The thing that makes your blood boil. The thing that gets under your skin more than anything on this planet. What is your pet peeve? And we'll hear from you tomorrow. It's a speaking section. And again, wonderful job. Just the fact that you took the time to, grab your phone, think about what you want to say, and then say it in English. You are leaps and bounds ahead of the average student. Okay, so you should be proud of yourselves. You make a mistake, fine, that's fine. But the fact that you're every day saying, "I'm every week, I'm gonna practice speaking about a different topic and defend my point of view," because that's what you have to do. My biggest pet peeve is when people, play loud music on the metro. Okay, why? Because I think it's rude. This is where you have to defend. Where there, I don't think you have to defend it very much. What do you mean? We should be able to. But you know what I mean? Why? That's always the important part. And you guys always take it and run with it. La expresión que significa hacéis más de lo esperado. You take it and run with it. So lots of great things, guys. Trivia night. You've got also special deals at our website and also the book fair around the corner. Spring is in the air everywhere I look around. All right, love, spring, whatever. It's a wonderful feeling. All right, let's see what we've got for you today in our pop quiz. Again, this comes from Essential English. And lately we've been taking a look at pelo. Remember the other day we said to get a haircut, just trim it a little. So I figured let's really drive it home. Otra expresión, rematarlo. Let's drive it home and we'll get some. Now, these are also words, as we'll see a little bit later on, that are not just associated with pelo, peluquería. All right, so here we go. The first one is alisar. Alisar. I want you obviously to use it in context, porque nunca me vale decir, okay, brighten, que no es alisar. To brighten es hacer más brillante. Pero darte un ejemplo. Porque, okay, muy bien. ¿Sabes decirlo ahora? Okay, ¿sabes si es irregular? ¿Sabes si se emplea con preposición? Pues, no, all of this stuff is important. It's just like if you say ask, you're saying pregunta. If you say ask for something, you're saying pedir. You're changing the meaning, right? Just with that little nuance, if you will. Okay, so the first one, I want you to use alisar in English, okay? Use it in a context. Maybe you know somebody quien se alisa el pelo, o si lo quieres usar en otro uso. The next one, I haven't said the word pelo in English for a reason. Because I want you to give me a homophone for the word pelo. So another word that sounds exactly like the word pelo in English, but it's not spelled the same. Homophones on the show with no name. All right. Hey, use it in context too, of course. Okay. So, that's an unconventional question there, huh? And the third one, teñir. I want you to use teñir. Okay. It's when you color your hair, right? But again, as we're going to see when we take a look at all of this stuff, there are other meanings and other uses, which we will look at. Just this way, you don't just know the word, but you get the idea behind the word, right? And its many uses if it has some. It's like, the other day, and the whole reason, the other day I was in a class with a student and we were looking at the word agachar. She goes, I don't know it. I said, I guarantee you do. And she said, yeah? I said, Donald? She goes, duck. And I said, well, you just said agacharte. And she goes, duck? That's agacharte? I'm like, see, you already knew the word. You just had to associate it, right? Y piénsalo. Have you ever seen a duck on a pond? What do? They duck into the water. It makes sense. Guys, if you're looking for a more logical English language than English, please show it to me. Show it to me. All right, so there's your pop quiz, amigos. The first one, use alisar in context. The second one, there's another word that sounds like pelo in English, exactly the same. What is it? And can you use it in context? And the last one, teñir, you say, dar color a algo. Okay, those are your challenges in your pop quiz. I see we've got a lot of students participating and ready to rock in part 2 of today's show. So when we come back, we'll take a look at your comments. We also have our Say What soundbite for the first and second time. We'll take a look at our spelling bee as well, and so much more. So if I were you, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 2 of today's show with No Name here on Vaughn Radio, where you can learn English all day long. Sure you can. You can start your day with my buddy Rob Grams on the Pro Bo Show. Professional bohemian. I couldn't think of a better way to describe Rob. Pro Bo. The Pro Bo Show every morning. After that, you've got No Excuses. Well, that's the name of the program, and also you've got no excuses, because if you can't listen live, you can always listen to the podcast of my buddy Fitz's show, A Master Class, every morning, right before the show. In fact, I couldn't think of a better way to warm up for this show. After this show, you've got the lovely Jimena Holiday and Test Your English. You've got the Lunchtime Show with Rob and Andy. You've got Let's Get Random with Jules Linares. Dave Boys and The Salad. Kyle Miller, Drive Time. Chris Frank, and Frankly Speaking. Richard Vaughn, and Jessica Fernandez. So many different reasons to listen to Vaughn Radio. All right, amigos, it's time for the Say What soundbite. Yeah, Say what? Yeah. Yes. All right, folks. As always, you're going to hear a famous person speaking, and I want you to give me the lowdown on the showdown. The 411. La información. I want all the juicy details. I even want to know if you recognize where the person's from, if you can place their accent. All right, so is everybody ready? All right, as always, you're going to hear this 4 times, so pay attention and see how much you can get after this, the first listen. No, there it is.
Well, I mean, I just promised all my mentors that I was going to be a good boy. I think that that's a matter of opinion, that he was a champion anywhere. You know? And I mean, I'm not being catty or anything. I wish the guy all the best. But there are an awful lot of people who say that that's not true.
All right. So the guy said, I won't say too much because I want your take. I want your opinion. All right, guys, let's hear it a second time and then tell me what you heard. And hopefully, before the end of the show, somebody will be able to give it all to me. And today there are a couple words in there because he kind of goes off at the end of his sentences. So good luck. It's going to be challenging today.
Well, I mean, I just promised all my mentors that I was going to be a good boy. I think that that's a matter of opinion, that he was a champion anywhere. You know? And I mean, I'm not being catty or anything. I wish the guy all the best. But there are an awful lot of people who say that that's not true.
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola de 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así da gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damian, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
vaughantienda.com.
It's the shit.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely the shit, la bomba. That's right, it's This Book is the Shit. My latest book, I've got 5 of them. I can't even keep track anymore, but they're all available at vaughantienda.com. So stop by vaughantienda.com if you'd like to learn English and have fun, because no matter what material you get, whether you're getting our phrasal verbs or our essential English, which we're going to take a look at in just a moment, it was in our pop quiz, you're going to learn, you're going to have fun, and I think we're always looking for that practicality thing as well, no? Que sea práctico. So everything you need over at vaughantienda.com. Also, I got an email recently, and I'll change the name to protect the innocent over here. I'll change the name of the person who wrote to us here, but it's somebody you all know. Let's put it this way. And this person sent me their question of the week, which great job, by the way, and said, last week, I couldn't attend the show live because I had an exam. I hope it went well. It was an exam about taxation for the European Union. Sounds thick, espeso, right? And it was in English. And I have to say, that I passed it with flying colors. Well, there's a totally native. Aprobé facilísimo. Moreover, wow, suenas genial, eh? Moreover, I felt so comfortable and confident doing it. And then this person goes on to say, y sigue, I have to say that this was 90% thanks to you and Grupo Vaughan. So I can't put into words how grateful I am. Well, thank you. And you deserve it. You did it. We're just here, trying to help you however we can. But you're the one who had to go in there and take the exam. So congrats. Kudos. That's always, guys, I love hearing your success stories. And I think it's good to share them with the other people too. To show people, hey, wait, 6 months ago, 2 years ago, and guess what? I just got my dream job. I just passed an exam in English, or I just got back from a trip to London and I didn't feel lost, for example. And these are victories. These are clear victories. So keep it up. That's wonderful news. All right, let's see who's with us participating in our pop quiz and our Say What soundbite today. First person in the house, born to Iron Man. Good morning to you. I know you. You probably woke up at 6 this morning. Well, I wake up at 6 too. And you probably started doing push-ups. I didn't do that part. Flexiones, I think you say. If I know you, born to Iron Man, I imagine you doing push-ups, saying, spelling A, B, C. Come on, push it, D. Hey, I don't know. I could be wrong here. Great to have you on board. Born to Iron Man, an awesome example of hard work and dedication. There's Open Waters. And speaking of examples of hard work and dedication, there's Open Waters saying, good morning, friends. Good morning to you, Open Waters. It's great to have you with us. Chris Valrol, there she is, bringing a little bit of her movie magic. And she says, morning show with no namers. I'm stopping by to wish you all a happy day. Thank you so much. She says, I won't be able to enjoy your company today, and I won't be able to tomorrow either. Enjoy. Happy Easter. Happy Easter to you. See you in a couple weeks. Yeah. Because remember, next week, I'm going to be disconnected from anything that looks like a computer. Even though I'm not going anywhere. As many of you know, my family, we were in Disney recently. We were in Gran Canaria. But remember when we go, when it's half the price. Hey, there's a reason. There's a reason for that. Because I know Semana Santa, Easter week, everything's crowded and everything's double the price. So we're staying home. We're having a staycation. I think we might go up to Aranda. Well, gorgeous up there, huh? Especially this time of year. We have some family. My wife has some family. Lara has some family up in Aranda. And my mouth is watering. Oh, God. Did somebody say wine and meat? Oh, what a carnivore. So, yeah, happy Easter to all of you. We've got today and tomorrow, and we're going to make every second count as always. But we'll miss you next week. Just remember, even though you're on holiday, you could wake up every morning and, listen to a half hour of English. Don't take any time off from English, especially because for you guys, you're smart. You've made it a hobby more than a chore, right? It's like, when I'm on vacation, I like to work out. Me gusta ir al gym, even if it's just to do the elliptical trainer, whatever. Lift some light weights, do some reps, repetitions. But I like to do it. It's because it's become a hobby. It's not like I have to go to the gym. No, it's become a part of what I do, So that's, I think you guys, kudos to all of you for that. You've made English, and it's so important to enfoque, the approach. If you're like, fucking English again, guess what? It's not going to last. But if you're like, I can't wait till, let's see what we're going to do today. You're unstoppable. Unstoppable, unstoppable, unstoppable. All right, let's see who's with us. Open Water says, let's see if someone is able to pick up the slack with the movies, Chris. Open Waters, you want another totally native? Wow, you are on fire. To pick up the slack, that's one that we've used a lot recently. Es, reemplazar, coger un poco, substituir, I think you would say as well. Open Waters participating in today's pop quiz, coming straight out of Essential English, available at vaughntienda.com. Open Water says, my wife always has to straighten her hair after washing it. That's right. To straighten. Now, vamos a ver aquí. I'm going to give you guys two options here. If you want to say it more British, then you say straighten. La T es una T. Straighten. Straighten. Did you straighten your hair? Now, Americans, we have no use for that T over there. Straighten. Like mountain. Ahora, como yo sé que ese sonido, that glottal stop is difficult, you can say straighten. Pero no dice straighten, right? Straighten. And be careful with this, because I've heard a lot of people say, straight your hair. No, si lo cambiamos a verbo, ya es straighten, which is enderezar, poner derecho, destorcer, right? Piensa algo que está something that's, all crooked. Well, like a hanger. You can straighten it, right? So it's not only hair, poner en orden. De hecho, las veces que mi madre dijo, straighten up your room, pon en orden. Recto, ¿no? Piénsalo así, ¿no? Ponerse recto, straighten up. Okay, so that's the idea behind it. So the adjective is straight, right? When you straighten up, then you're sitting up straight or you're standing up straight. Okay? So straight, straighten. And there are many examples of this. Short es corto. Vamos a ver si sabéis el verbo para cada uno. Yo te doy I'm going to give you the adjective, you give me the verb. Okay? Short. So to make short, to make shorter, to shorten. You can say shorten, pero yo lo voy a decir como yo lo digo, shorten. Okay? Wide. Wide is the opposite of narrow. Okay? Amplio, yeah. Wide es una vía amplia. Wide. Well, hacer ensanchar, is that how you would say? Me suena algo así. To widen. They widened the sidewalk. No, ponlo en un ejemplo, como siempre. La acera. Lo hicieron más amplio. Okay, deep. Pues to deepen. They thought they were planning to deepen the pool, to make it deeper. Length, longitud, to lengthen, to make longer. Okay? White, to whiten. Cuando se usa ese, con los dientes. Did you whiten your teeth? Whiten. Dark, darken. Did you darken your eyebrows? Okay, darken, hacer más oscuro. Light, lighten. Are you seeing a pattern here? Bright. Okay, you could say, I'm having a bright day, but you know why? Because you brighten my day. Brighten, brighten. Hard, harden, harden, right? If you leave it out there, it's going to harden. The loaf of bread is going to harden. Y el inverso, soft, soften. Now, esto es interesante porque aquí la T desaparece cuando lo ponemos. Listen, it's very soft. Well, I've spent the last 2 hours trying to soften it. Soften, soften. La T, táchala. And thick, espeso, grueso. To thicken. A lot of times when I make a vinaigrette, I make a balsamic vinaigrette. Well, not balsamic. I make a normal vinaigrette. I use honey to emulsify and to thicken it. Hacer más espeso, dar más sustancia. Okay, quick, rápido. To quicken. Come on, guys, we need to quicken the process. Hacer más rápido. To damp. Well, no, to damp no. Damp es el adjetivo, perdona. Damp es húmedo. Humedecer, I think you say in Spanish. Son difíciles para mí en español. Dampen. Dampen the tissue before you apply it, right? Dampen. Sharp. Sharp, puntiagudo, right? Afilado. Sharpen. Not just a knife, but a pencil. You sharpen a pencil with a pencil sharpener. Weak. Weak, débil. Weaken. If you do drugs, it's going to weaken you. Te va a hacer más débil. Okay? Fresh, fresco. Guys, I'm going to go in the bathroom and freshen up. Freshen. To freshen up. Hacerse más fresco. Smart. Smarten. I told him to smarten up. That's another way of saying ponte las pilas. Hazte más listo. Sea más listo. Smarten up, man. Okay? Straighten, ya lo hemos visto. Rough and tough, también es igual. Man, you need to toughen up. Te tienes que hacer más duro. People are walking all over you. La gente está aprovechándose de ti, pisoteándote. So you need to toughen up, right? Don't sweeten up. You're too sweet. No, hacerte más dulce. También es en cuanto a dulce a sabor, también, pero una persona. Okay? Moist es como damp, moisten. So dampen or moisten son hacer húmedo. Okay? Estos son muy comunes. Apretar, desaflojar. So tight and loose. Dímelos. Tighten and loosen. Tighten the screws and loosen the screws. Okay? And what about, here's a great one. Okay? Ripe. The fruit is ripe, right? Maduro, you say. La fruta. Why? Because it had time to ripen. Ripen. Flat. So plano. Aplanar. Flatten. If you sit on it, you're going to flatten it. All right, amigos? And the last one, bueno, te doy dos más. Threat, porque son muy comunes estos. Threat. Threaten. Right? Is that a threat? Are you trying to threaten me? Okay. And then strength. La última, strengthen. I tried to give you some of the most common ones that you're going to come across, but that's some really good vocabulary. Make sure you get it down. All right, open waters. Let's take a look at your second one. Hair and her sounds alike. Good effort, but listen, I'll say it. Hair and her sound sin S, porque es they. Ellos suenan igual, right? So entonces quitamos la S de sound. So hair and her sound alike. I beg to differ. Maybe in some parts of Scotland. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Open Water says, my wife doesn't dye her hair, but she has highlights. Perfecto. Mechas, you say, right? All right. Great job. Great job. Let's see. Up next, we've got Born to Iron Man. He says, my wife straightens her hair. Pues te voy a dar aplauso para straighten. Pero her hair? Nope. But doesn't dyes it. Cuidado también ahí, porque doesn't, entonces no toques el verbo dye. She doesn't dye it. Okay, so te sobra una S ahí en la palabra dyes. Por eso me gusta también que lo uséis siempre en contexto. Así decimos, cuidado con cuando usemos un auxiliar, el didn't, el doesn't, dejamos el otro verbo, right? So, so te doy la frase entera. My wife straightens her hair, but doesn't dye it. All right. All right, let's see. Anix. Anix says, hello. I just popped in to say hi. Enjoy the show. Thanks for stopping by, Anix, in Valencia. What a great place. All right. Let's see. Kakol says, hi, show with no namers. What's up? He says, there is the postman just to say hello. Nice to see you again. Well, wait a minute, Mr. Postman. Wait a minute, Mr. Postman. Talking about a blast from the past. Algo que te recuerda. Well, Mr. Postman has been, I remember you, one of the first listeners of the show, if I'm not mistaken, right? Also, Anix is in that category. Giggler. There are some people who have been listening to the show who have been with me since the beginning. Some have come and gone. Hey, that's life. I don't take anything personal there. People move on, different phases of their lives, different. Hey, I wish everybody the best, but most people stick around, as I say. Well, right there, sabes un phrasal verb que no sabe la mitad de la población que habla inglés en español. La palabra stick around. You know it. Why? Because I say it every time we go to a commercial break. So that's 3 times a day. That's 5 times a week. You hear me say the phrasal verb, the totally native phrasal verb, stick around. Ahora mi matemática, ya ves. 15 times. No, 3 más 3. Yeah. 15 times a week. That's 30. Ya me estoy entrando. That's 60 times a month. Of course you know it. You know it like the back of your hand. You say la palma de la mano. Nosotros decimos la otra parte. And speaking of sticking around, folks, we have got to go to our second commercial break right now. We've got a lot of stuff to cover when we come back. We're going to kick off with our homophone section, although I'm still missing a homophone over here. Anybody know the one I was looking for? Another word that sounds like pelo. It's not her. Nope. All right, well, we'll do that. We'll take a look at our homophones. We'll see if anybody knows that homophone that I was looking for as well. Also, we'll listen to our Say What soundbite for the 3rd time. And then our super challenging spelling bee. All that and much, much more when we come back. So, say it. You know it. Stick around. Hey amigos, welcome back to part 3 of today's show with No Name here on Bon Radio. All right, well, we've got a winner here, somebody who finally figured out our homophone. The word is liebre in Spanish. And Born to Iron Man, you got it, buddy. So hair, pelo, ya sabéis cómo se escribe, suena exactamente igual que H-A-R-E, are. Sé que la H es muda, so jare, right? Sounds exactly the same. The hare had a lot of hair. Acuérdate de la frase y nunca se te olvidará. El liebre tenía mucho pelo. The hare had a lot of hair. And there's another word that mixes people up when we talk about those words. And that word is heredero. Heredero. Who knows that? Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's put that into the challenge here. Así ya rematamos. We drive it home. ¿Te acuerdas? Te lo dije antes. Let's drive it home here. Dime la palabra heredero y otra palabra que suena exactamente igual. Ahora, I'll tell you right now, no suenan igual que hair, pelo, liebre, barra liebre. So I want to know now, the word heredero, siempre le pongo doble R. Heredero, no. Heredero, right? Una R. Eso me cuesta a mí a veces el doble R comparado con con una. Heredero. So tell me the word heredero and another word that sounds exactly the same. And I'll tell you what, while you're at it, I guess this is the perfect time to give me today's homophones. Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name.
the show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time and homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with homophones. The show with no. Show with no. Show with no. All right, amigos, our homophones. So we're looking at a lot of homophones here today. You're getting 3 for the price of 1. We already looked at hair, siendo pelo o liebre, dependiendo como lo escribimos. Let's see the second one that I just asked you. Open Waters and Born to Iron Man. Heredero suena como air, aire. So H-E-I-R suena como A-I-R. So the heir loved to go outside and get some air. And the hair had a lot of hair. ¿Ves? Y luego son parecidos porque pelo y liebre son ese sonido, pero más con el delante. So it's the same vowel sound. That's why they can be confusing, and that's why I wanted to clear them up, but you're not free yet. I have the homophone that I had planned. Those just came up in the show. This is the one I have planned. The first one is dolor. Okay? Dolor. That's right. Okay? Dolor. The next one, I know you know that word, by the way. So that first one I expect you to know. The second one is cristal, hoja de cristal. I always think about the ones that are used when you make windows, okay, or a door, que es un plano. It's flat. Acuérdate, flatten, lo que vimos antes, aplanar, is the verb there. So, cristal, hoja, panel. No, that's kind of the idea behind it. All right? And the first one is dolor, okay? And it's incredible. Do you know when I realized that the name Dolores, because I never thought about it. I'm like, Dolores. Because in English, it's Dolores. Hey, did you talk to Dolores? Yeah. But then I think it wasn't until I was maybe about 20 years old. I've been speaking Spanish. I'm like, wait, you mean Dolores? Like pain? Oh, what? Yeah. It's a crazy name. Nothing against it, but when I put 2 and 2 together, cuando por fin lo averigüé, I'm like, no me digas que el nombre es como, no voy a decir la palabra porque lo vamos a ver en un segundo. So the first one is dolor. The second one is a sheet of glass. Again, often associated with the ones used for constructing when you're putting in windows or doors that have that as well. All right, let me also give you the Say What soundbite. I'm going to give it to you for the third time, and it seems like nobody was able to extract anything from it. Oh, so it's harder than I thought.
Well, I mean, I just promised all my mentors that I was going to be a good boy.
Mm-hmm.
I think that that's a matter of opinion, that he was a champion anywhere. You know? And I mean, I'm not being catty or anything. I wish the guy all the best. But there are an awful lot of people who say that that's not true.
Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughntown, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughntown, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovaughn.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughntown.
That's right, folks. If you want more information about Vaughntown, just remember you can reach out via social media. You can also go to our website, grupovaughn.com. But if you're following us on social media, just send us a direct message and say, hey, I want some information about this, that, or the other thing. And of course, we'd be more than happy to help you out with whatever you may need. All right, well, let's see what we've got here in our third. That's right, our third homophone of the day here, or not. Let's take a look over here. All right, Born to Iron Man gives us the correct words, and he says they sound alike. Open Waters gives us the two correct words as well, and he says, I'm not sure, but I think they're homophones. Well, I think you trust Born to Iron Man, don't you? I mean, you guys are buddies. All right. Let's see. Born to Iron Man says, my grandma's and my mom's name is Dolores and familiarly Lolita, respectively. Yeah. Lolita. That to me sounds normal, but Pain as a name, it would you'd never hear it in the United States. But again, for me, it was just a name. I never said Dolores is plural of pain. So I never put that together, even though I was familiar with the name. You catch my drift? So, it's, in fact, most people named Dolores are called Lola or Loli or Lolita. I've heard many variations. It's like a lot of people named Alberto, Tito. I'm like, what? Tito? Can I call you Tito? Somebody said to me once. I'm like, no, the fuck is Tito? Isn't that for... And he was like, it's short for Albertito. I'm like, get out of here. So see, I'm learning things about my own name that I didn't know there. But hey, you live and learn. Cada día aprendemos. So you guys are saying that these words are homophones. All right, well, let's say the word. The first one is pain. Pain. Okay. I'm sure you've all heard the word. It's a word that you're all familiar with. We can make it an adjective. Painful, painless. Right? If something is painful, that means, well, where's my sound effect there? If it's painless, it means, oh man, it won't hurt at all. So pain, sufrimiento, dolor. Also, we use it as entristecer, as a verb. So it pains me, la estructura es we use it with the, what was I going to say? With the infinitive tense, okay? And it pains me to see you so angry. It pains me to see you suffer like that. Okay, me entristece. So it is also a verb as well. And that's spelled, I think most of you know it, Pain. And the second word is Pane, pane. Bread in Italian? No, it's also pronounced pain as well. So great job. Born to Iron Man and Open Waters. In fact, do you guys know the song Eminem and Rihanna sing together? Just gonna stand there and watch me burn. That's all right because I like the way it hurts. Hablando de pain. Just gonna stand there and hear me cry. That's all right because I love the way you lie. Love the way you lie. And then Eminem has a line in that song, and I'm going to read it. He goes, I'm not going to rap it because I think it's hard to rap like Eminem. You don't get another chance. Life is no Nintendo game. Okay, la vida no es un juego de Nintendo. But you lied again. Pero me mentiste otra vez. Now you get to watch her leave out the window. Ahora le ves mientras se marcha por la ventana. I guess that's why they call it window pane. Vaya juego de palabras ahí de Eminem, ¿eh? Supongo que por eso lo llaman window pane, panel de cristal de la ventana, o el dolor de mirar por la ventana conforme se marcha su chica. So Eminem, pretty deep there. When I heard it, I remember the first time I heard it, I was like, wow, that's a brilliant line there. Oh, and Born to Iron Man, no pain, no gain. Oh man, that was so big in the 90s. We used to say that all the time. They got a little bit cliche that now, but it is true. No pain, no gain, right? You gotta go out of your comfort zone from time to time, whether you're working out in the gym or you're working on your English. Let's see. The postman says, air sounds like air, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Great job, guys. In our homophone section, nobody had anything to say about the say what soundbite, so that tells me again that it went over your heads. Que ni papa, no? All right, well, don't worry. You're going to hear that one more time in the final part of the show. But right now, it's time for the say what soundbite. Just kidding. Spelling bee.
Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee.
All aboard, amigos. All right. Well, today's spelling bee is going to be really tough. Hey, at least I warned you. You know, some people don't warn you. They're just like, good luck. See how you do. Today, I'm going to make you sweat. I mean, I always do, especially in round one. All right, here we go, folks. I am going to fly through these words at breakneck speed, como decimos, ¿no? A velocidad que te rompe el cuello. Breakneck speed, and we'll see how you guys do. If you don't catch them on the first go, don't worry. You're going to get another round, a second round at a normal pace, where I think any intermediate level student should be able to get them. But this one is exclusively for English superstars. All right, here we go. Let's capitalize the first letter of every word, and we're off. The first one is M-O-L-L-Y space B-R-O-W-N. The second one, E-D-W-A-R-D space J-O-H-N space S-M-I-T-H. The third one is J-O-H-N space J-A-C-O-B space A-S-T-O-R space Roman numeral 4. The fourth one is T-H-O-M-A-S space A-N-D-R-E-W-S. The fifth one, B-E-N-J-A-M-I-N space G-U-G-G-E-N-H-E-I-M. And the last one is M-I-L-L-V-I-N-A space D-E-A-N. ¿Qué tiene que ver la Universidad de Oxford con Vaughan? Pues muchísimo. Es una alegría anunciar que Vaughan ha sido certificado como centro examinador de Oxford Test of English. A partir del próximo mes de marzo 2023, podrás hacer los exámenes de Oxford Test of English en los centros de Vaughan. Si quieres más información sobre esta iniciativa de Vaughan y Oxford, puedes ver más en nuestra página web, grupovaughan.com. O bien síguenos en redes sociales para más información. Oxford Test of English con Vaughan.
Brilliant!
All right, last call, all aboard, folks. This ship is about to sail. That's right, Tharpar. Also, the expression, that ship has sailed. Ya no tienes esa oportunidad, se acabó. That ship has sailed. All right, let's see. Not for Born to Iron Man, it seems. It seems like he is, wow, dude. At first glance, they look perfect. Let's see. Let's confirm it. The first one is correct. The second one is also correct, Born to Iron Man. The third one is perfect. The fifth one, excellent. And ladies and gentlemen, this guy is playing in the big leagues. Give it up for Born to Iron Man. Wow. Dude, honestly, hats off. I know a lot of people. You can ask anyone. You can ask Rob. You can ask Fitz. You know, okay, yeah, we would get it because we would recognize every letter as a native speaker. But if you gave me that list at that speed, pre-coffee, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure I would get it. So hats off. Seriously, that is amazing. Born to Iron Man. You never cease to amaze me. ¿Cómo va la expresión? Siempre me estás sorprendiendo. La traducción, nunca ceses de cesar, de sorprenderme. Pero es, no, siempre me estás sorprendiendo. So you never cease to amaze me. Let's see. German says, I hate to break it to you. Toma, totally native over there. I hate to break it to you means odio decirte la noticia. I hate to break it to you, but I was in so much pain when I saw that window pane break. German, you know I love it when you play with words. All right, amigos, it is time for round 2. This is round 2 of the spelling bee. This is a pace where I expect any intermediate level student to be able to jot these names down. If you haven't figured it out yet, these are names. That's right. These are names of All right, enough with the foghorn. What the fog? Foghorn. What the fog? What? Okay. Well, these are all people who survived the Titanic. You say Titanic, we say Titanic. All right, here we go with round 2. The first person, probably the most famous one, Molly space BROWN. The second one, EDWARD space JOHN space SMITH. The third one, JOHN space JACOB space ASTOR space Roman numeral 4. The fourth one is THOMAS space ANDREWS. The fifth one, I think this is the hardest one, BENJAMIN space GUGGENHEIM. And the last one, MILLVINA space DEAN. All right. Again, these are some of the survivors of the Titanic disaster. And, well, the reason I chose this is, well, Titanic's always interesting, it seems, you know. But also today in 1912, the Titanic set sail from Southampton, England, on her maiden and only voyage. As you all know, the fate, el destino, right? So her maiden voyage, su primer viaje, right? Maiden, like Iron Maiden, same word there. Her maiden voyage and what would subsequently be her only voyage. And Fijaos, no digo voyage, it's voyage. It rhymes with bridge, language, voyage, right? Edge. Muy importante ese sonido como terminación, porque muchas veces el AG es el edge. Entonces, si sabes si tienes el puente siempre en mente, I'm a poet and I didn't even know it in Spanish. All right. Also, we've got another winner in the house. Give it up for Open Waters. Now, the Titanic and Open Waters didn't mix. No hicieron buen juego. Open Waters and the Titanic. That's right. So it set sail today in 1912. And, well, the first person, Molly Brown, or as Open Waters told us, the unsinkable, inundable, the unsinkable Molly Brown. She was played by Kathy Bates in the movie. And, well, as we all know, she was a heroine. She tried to save lives when certain people like Captain Edward John Smith, number 2, I don't think he really deserved the role of captain. As many people know, he abandoned ship before he should have, right? The captain is supposedly the last one to abandon ship. And so he died, and, not only were his actions controversial after the accident and during the accident, but in the lead up es lo que te lleva ahí. Remember, according to sources, he was told, we've got some icebergs in the North Atlantic, and, we might want to proceed with caution. And what did he say? According to history, speed up, put the pedal to the metal. This thing is unsinkable. And, well, we all know how that turned out. So number 2 was Edward John Smith. I took away his captainhood. Ya no es capitán para mí. Next up, we had John Jacob Astor IV. Okay, John Jacob Astor IV. He was a real estate developer. In fact, most of New York City was developed by the Astor family. And he and his pregnant wife, that's sad, booked a trip, and they wanted to return to the United States so that their baby would be born on American soil. And, well, we all know what happened there. But his body froze to death, and they found a man. This is a lesson for you. They found this man, this rich man, with $2,400 on him. Okay, if you adjust it to inflation, that's a lot of money. Didn't do him much good, did it? In the middle of the Atlantic. So there's a lesson we can take from that. There's always a lesson, even if it's just an English lesson. Folks, we'll be right back with the 4th and final part of today's show. So, you say it, stick around. Hey amigos, welcome back to the 4th and final part of today's show with no name. Stay tuned, because after today's show you can learn English with the lovely Jimena Holiday and all my amigos. So keep it locked here. Download the free app and you can take us with you wherever, whenever. Like Shakira says, oh yeah. All right, amigos, lots of stuff to cover in this part of the show. We're going to kick off with today's Double Trouble. We're going to listen to our Say What soundbite for the 4th time. Hopefully somebody will get something all I see is crickets. It's like the joke section, which we'll also take a look at some jokes. We'll finish up our spelling bee. I wanted to tell you about the 2 or 3 people that we had to talk about still. We've got Name That Movie, famous birthdays. Whoa. Name That Lyric. Lots of stuff to do here in the 4th and final part of the show. And guys, thank you once again for being here every day and laughing and learning with us. Whether you're here live, whether you're listening via podcast, I appreciate you. Thank you. It's an honor and a pleasure to teach you English. And even though next week I'll be enjoying my days off, as many of us will, I'll miss you. All right. Why don't we kick off with the section? Is it a double trouble? Let me see. Double or triple? Oh, it's a double trouble today. But guys, if it's difficult today, don't blame me. Blame Open Waters.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
All right. It's Double Trouble, and today's Double Trouble is sponsored by Open Waters. That's right. From time to time, I get suggestions from you guys, and there are 2 reasons I share them, maybe even more. But the first one is, well, if you learned it, well, then I imagine you thought it was something that your classmates would like to learn. And for you, it's a review. So it's a win-win over here. You're reviewing it, and, by sending it to me, by keeping it fresh in your mind, and then you're sharing what you've learned with your classmates, and that is magical. So great job, Open Waters, and you can take this section off. Tómate un descanso en esta, porque you already know it. All right, le voy a poner en su sitio y decirle que no tome atajos. It's a difficult one. Okay, it might seem easy. So it's le voy a poner en su sitio y decirle que no tome atajos. Okay, that is your double trouble. As always, you have to use the same word twice. If it's tough, don't shoot the messenger. Open Waters sent it to us. I think it's a great one. 2 totally native idiomatic expressions. We'll see if you guys can figure it out. Speaking of figuring things out, nobody's even come close to today's Say What soundbite. So let's see if you can get something from this, the final listen.
Well, I mean, I just promised all my mentors that I was going to be a good boy. I think that that's a matter of opinion, that he was a champion anywhere. And I mean, I'm not being catty or anything. I wish the guy all the best. But there are an awful lot of people who say that that's not true.
¿Qué tal vas de ánimo? ¿Necesitas un empujón? ¿Un poco de aliento? No sweat, no te preocupes. Pásate por vaughantienda.com y hazte con nuestro nuevo material multimedia. 365 días de wellness e inglés. Y viene de la mano de tu propio personal trainer profesional, David Gómez Agudo, conocido por sus miles de seguidores en las redes como Fitbull Coach. Trabajarás fitness, mindset, nutrición y por supuesto el inglés. Y viene con más de 250 vídeos para que entrenes junto con tu coach. Es un win-win. Haz que este año sea tu año, con 365 días de wellness e inglés.
That's right. Just another amazing material available at the Von Tienda. All right, let's see what we've got over here. The postman says, "Can you hear the bell tolling? It's taking its tolling on me." What is this? A ver, let's see. The double trouble is so. Le voy a poner en. Are you listening to the right show, postman? Lo repito, el double trouble es, le voy a poner en su sitio y decirle que no tome atajos. That is today's double trouble. Nobody knows it yet. So, Open Waters, good job, man. You stumped everybody, it seems. Just like I did with the Say What soundbite. Yeah. All right, let's take a look at our spelling bee, too. We had to finish up. In the meantime, I'll give you some more time to think about that double trouble. The next one was Thomas Andrews. Now, this is a fascinating story because this guy wasn't just any average passenger. This was an Irishman who was an architect. And you know what his job was? To travel on the maiden voyage, as I said, el primer viaje, and make observations and take notes and offer suggestions for improvement. Whoa. Wow. Okay. That never happened. Well, he was doing his job, but even if he had some notes for them, well, maybe they could use it on a different ship. So that's an interesting story behind Thomas Andrews. Then you have Benjamin Guggenheim, and he now the museum, everybody knows the Guggenheims because of the museum, because they've donated to open museums and all this stuff, but really they made their fortune mining in la minería, right? And he was with his mistress on the ship. Talk about getting caught out there. Wow. He's like, no, the ship can't sink. This can't be in the newspapers tomorrow. Oh, wow. Woo. Talk about adding insult to injury. Hacer una situación mal peor. He was with his mistress, and if he was trying to keep it under wraps, mantenerlo un poco, well, that didn't work. That didn't work because I'm telling you about it here on a show Learning English. So it seems like the whole world knew that. And last but not least, on our list of survivors, we've got a woman. You might not recognize her name, Milvina Dean. And Milvina Dean is the last living survivor. All right. She wasn't a Guggenheim or an Astor, but she was the youngest survivor, in fact, as well. She was 2 months old when she was on the Titanic, and she finally died in 2009. But imagine, all those years later, and at 2 months old, I'm sure a part of her didn't even know what was going on. So there you go, folks. Those are our Titanic survivors. All right, my buddy Omar in the house. What's up, Omar? Checking in on Facebook. What's up? All right, so nobody got the double trouble. Well, I guess I'll just have to give it to you. Today's double trouble, and by the way, nice round of applause for Open Waters. Le voy a poner en su sitio. I'm going to cut him down to size. That's right. To cut somebody down to size. Think about it. You're getting too big. Too big for your britches, as we say. So I'm going to cut you down to size, right? To cut somebody down to size is ponerle en su sitio, okay? Devolverle a la tierra, okay? I'm going to cut you down to size. So that's part one. Well, no, he said him. I'm going to cut him down to size and tell him not to cut corners. So the word that we doubled up on there is the word cut. To cut corners is to try and save money in a cheap way, to do things in a cheap way, right? So excellent job, Open Waters. Great vocabulary. And you stumped him, man. So, le voy a poner en su sitio y decirle que no tome atajos. I'm gonna cut him down to size and tell him not to cut corners. Oh, and cut is an irregular verb. How do we conjugate it? Cut, cut, cut. I love it when things are simple like that. All right, amigos, we need to move on to Name That Movie. Name That Movie. All right. Today's movie is going to be easy. No, not really. No, it's not. Okay, you'll recognize the name of the lead character, but good luck guessing the movie. Let's see how well you know this super spy, this special agent. I think you already know who I'm talking about. Here's the synopsis. James Bond is called upon to try to recover nuclear bombs stolen by Spectre, but he will have to get rid of a professional assassin hired especially to eliminate him. Okay, so we know it's a James Bond flick. So James Bond is called upon. If you're called upon, el llamamiento, right? He's ordered to do it. They give him the task of doing it. He's called upon to try to recover nuclear bombs. Remember that B is silent, bombs, stolen by Spectre. But he will have to get rid of, if you don't know this phrasal verb, you need to know it, to get rid of a professional assassin, a killer, an assassin, hired especially to eliminate him, right? Sicario, we say a hitman, all right? So obviously, Omar, good job. Yes, it is a James Bond flick. And Born to Iron Man, you got it. It's Never Say Never Again. That's right. Never Say Never Again. This was a James Bond movie that came out in 1983, starring Sean Connery. That's right, Sean Connery, and it's called Never Say Never Again. Let's take a look at the scene that I've chosen here. Well, first, a couple fun facts. Rowan Atkinson, you know him as Mr. Bean. This was his first movie. Yeah, the first movie. It's a good trivia question. What was Mr. Bean or Rowan Atkinson's first movie? It wasn't a Mr. Bean movie. Nope. It was this movie, Never Say Never Again, a James Bond movie. Now, the funny thing is, do you remember he later went on to parody a character like that, a special agent? Johnny English. Have you seen the Johnny English film? So there's a little irony. Also, a young Steven Seagal. You guys know Steven Seagal as well. A young Steven Seagal was the movie's martial arts instructor, el instructor de artes marciales. And one day, he got so angry with Sean Connery. I wouldn't want Steven Seagal to be angry at me. And they were doing a training session, and he broke his wrist. Obviously, Sean Connery was in pain. We looked at the word pain before, but yeah, I wouldn't want to be on Steven Seagal's bad side. I don't care who you are, you know, even if you're James Bond himself, the real guy. I know he's based on several people. The moral of the story: don't get on Steven Seagal's bad side. Not a good idea. All right, let's take a look at the scene over here. Blofeld says, "I am Supreme Commander of Spectre, the Special Executive for Counterintelligence, Terrorism, Revenge, and Extortion. Yesterday morning, the American Air Force launched 2 cruise missiles from Swadley Air Base in Great Britain. Through the ingenuity of Spectre, the dummy warheads," dummy means they don't explode, "the dummy warheads they carried were replaced with live nuclear warheads. Your weapons of destruction are now safely in our possession and will be moved to 2 secret targets. Dianas. No? Please note the serial numbers of the missiles. They will confirm the truth. Your weapons of deterrence did not deter us from our objective. And to deter is another way of saying to stop, right? To deter. A terrible catastrophe now confronts you. However, it can be avoided by paying a tribute to our organization. That means give us money, right? He's bribing, sobornar. And he goes, amounting to 25% of your respective country's annual oil purchases de petróleo. No, las compras de petróleo, un 25%. We have accomplished 2 of the functions that the name Spectre embodies, terror and extortion. If our demands are not met within 7 days, we shall ruthlessly, despiadadamente, apply the 3rd, revenge. There you go, folks. It's never say never again, but we've got to move on. It's time for your joking.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar. You're joking.
All right, amigos, you're joking. Here we go with some awesome jokes. Okay, they're corny, but they're punny. They're punny because there's a play on words. Who is a wrestler's worst enemy? Okay, uno de la lucha, de pressing catch. Who is a wrestler's worst enemy? Easy. Matt. Matt. Well, Matt is a guy's name. Matthew, Matt, M-A-T-T. A lot of times it's with 2 T's. But Matt with 1 T, well, that's where they wrestle, right? Colchoneta, tatami, esterilla, alfombra, tapete. It can be a doormat. So you get it? Who is a wrestler's worst enemy? Matt. All right. Well, hey, if you go down to the mat, then they can pin you. And to pin is 1, 2, 3, and you're pinned, as we say. I used to wrestle. We won't talk about my record. All right, I've got another one for you. Why did the boy sign up for karate? Okay. Why did the boy sign up for karate? Well, he was told he would get a kick out of it. No. Karate kick. To get a kick out of something, you enjoy it. Oh, man, I hope you're getting a kick out of today's show. It's a very native way of saying to enjoy something, right? To be entertained by something. So why did the boy sign up for karate? He was told he would get a kick out of it. Oh, okay. All right. One more. What did the boxer say to his opponent? Knock yourself out. No. Well, I know you know knockout, KO. You say that in Spanish. But the expression knock yourself out is sírvete tú mismo, adelante. Knock yourself out. All right. You are lucky there are only 3 jokes in this section, and you're lucky we need to move on to famous birthday trivia.
One, two, three. Famous birthdays for you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
That's right. It's famous birthdays. We're going to fly through our famous birthdays today. The first person was born today in 1959, an American guitarist, singer, and songwriter. He got popular in the early 80s, but with a 50s style rockabilly. And, well, his group, the Stray Cats, Los Gatos Callejeros, Stray Cats. And he also brought back swing a little bit as well. He was also in the movie La Bamba. In fact, that's where I saw him doing the Summertime Blues. And I've been working all summer just trying to earn $1. It's him. All right, number 2, this Swedish-French actor was born in 1929. He's done over 150 films: Minority Report, Star Wars, The Force Awakens, James Bond, Never Say Never Again. Yeah, the one we looked at in Name That Movie. And last but not least, this guy worked on the movie Never Say Never Again. He was the martial artist, the instructor, the trainer in the movie. But also this guy has been known to make his own movies as well. In the 90s, he was in Under Siege, which is about a ship that is under siege, attack. The Patriot, Lawman. He was in Machete as well, Machete. And this guy, he seems crazy. He's a guy that you don't want to get on his bad side. Just ask Sean Connery. So I mentioned him as well. All right, today's famous birthdays, ladies and gentlemen. Number 1, Brian Setzer and the Brian Setzer Orchestra. Number 2, Max von Sydow. That's right. Wow, 150 films. We've seen him in so many genres. Max von Sydow. And last but not least, Steven Seagal. And that's going to bring us to our Say What soundbite. It's Steven Seagal talking shit, talking smack, si no queremos decir la palabra shit, about Jean-Claude Van Damme. And he says, I just promised all my mentors, the people who mentor you in martial arts, it's quite normal. I just promised all my mentors that I was going to be a good boy, que me iba a portar bien. He says, I think that that's a matter of opinion, that he was a champion anywhere. Como, ¿dónde ha sido campeón este tío? And then the audience goes, whoa! He goes, I'm not being catty. And to be catty is, como lo traducen, malicioso, right? Malvado. I'm not being catty, he says. Okay, como gato con dos T's. He goes, I wish the guy all the best. Le deseo lo mejor. He goes, but there are an awful lot of people, bastante, it's another way of saying bastante. There are an awful lot of people who say that's not true, that he's making up his credentials. Let's hear it from Steven Seagal.
Oh, I just promised all my mentors that I was going to be a good boy.
Mm-hmm.
I think that that's a matter of opinion, that he was a champion anywhere. You know. Yeah, and I'm not being catty or anything. I wish the guy all the best, but there are an awful lot of people who say that that's not true.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is... No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
Excellent job, amigos. Wonderful job today. I'll see you tomorrow for our final show before the Easter break. It's only a week, but hey, it's a week without my students, without my show with no namer. So we're going to make the most of it. Tomorrow we'll be hearing from many of you as well in our weekly speaking section, the question of the week. Today's song is Brian Setzer, birthday boy Brian Setzer, with Rock Boys Rock. And it starts out, my baby rolled into town. Llegó, no, en coche, piensa. Rolled into town and shook the joint upside down. Now, the joint es articulación, porro, pero en este sitio es el garito. And shook the joint upside down, le volcó al sitio, turning every head around. And to turn heads means to attract people. If someone's a head turner, They attract people. All right, well, guys, let's rock. Ow! Rock, boys, girls, rock. Thank you, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow with more Rockin' English on the show with no name. Yeehaw! Woo!